This is a PinkGlow pineapple, and it costs $400. Not to be confused with the still too expensive $30 PinkGlow pineapple that's actually pink on the inside and is blowing up on social media.
A pink pineapple.
The Hermes of pineapples.
This is so gorgeous.
And guys, I mean, let's be real. Pineapple is the best fruit. And now you're telling me there's an even better version of it? I have to try it. I have to try it. Both the red and the pink pineapples are grown here in Costa Rica, except I can't buy one. Not because they're out of my budget, but because here in Costa Rica, selling them is illegal. Nobody except Del Monte can grow them, and nobody, not even them, Del Monte themselves, can sell them in the country. And that is very much by design. Del Monte owns this fruit. But how can a company own a fruit? To find out that answer, I have been traveling across my native Costa Rica, searching grocery stores and farmers markets, talking to locals, also because I am desperate to try one. I not only found that most people don't even know what it is. Piñas rosadas si tienen.
Piña rosada.
And I also found that the reason behind all this red tape and secrecy is that Del Monte made one critical, catastrophic, billion-dollar mistake a few years ago. A mistake that changed the pineapple industry forever. This is a good old smooth cayenne pineapple. It's the pineapple that most baby boomers grew up eating. It's not the one that you'd find in a supermarket anymore. It's a bit sour. It's definitely not the sweet pineapple that I grew up eating, but it's good. It's good. Now, this is an MD2, AKA golden pineapple, released to the world around 1996. Yeah, juicier, sweeter. This is the pineapple that you've probably tasted. It's also the pineapple that changed the world.
And it can't be anything less than the good fruit, Del Monte pineapple.
Golden pineapples made everybody fall in love with pineapples. First, Del Monte started developing this pineapple in Hawaii in the 60s, along with a few other fruit companies. And they were trying to find a pineapple that was sweeter and bigger, that stayed fresh for longer. Now, eventually other companies left the initiative. And Del Monte, they continued. They kept going on their own. They moved their research to Costa Rica in the late 70s, early 80s, and eventually they found it. Like 30 plus years after they started, they found this. They called it a once-in-a-lifetime fruit. Del Monte knew it, so they tried to file a patent for it. But remember, Del Monte didn't start this pineapple research themselves. There were other companies involved back in the 60s when they started this stuff in Hawaii. And now in the 90s, with a finished product, they just couldn't agree on the terms for this patent. So how do you protect this 30-year, multi-million-dollar research project? They did two things. First, they filed a patent for another pineapple, the CO2. That wasn't the MD2, it was more like a genetic sibling, but the patent was useful to scare people away from ripping off their fruit. They also maintained strict secrecy to ensure the pineapples qualified as a trade secret under US law. And this isn't exactly a patent, but it would give them some legal protection if anyone copied or stole their golden pineapples. And then in 1996, the golden pineapple launched to the world. Or I should say, it launched in the US, not in Costa Rica. This was an export product they could charge a premium price on, not made for locals. And it was a hit. Sales for Del Monte more than doubled after the golden pineapple was introduced. All grown right here in Costa Rica, even though Costa Ricans couldn't eat this pineapple. But suddenly, wait, are those golden pineapples in Costa Rica's farmers markets? How? Somehow, the recipe had leaked. Local farmers were growing it and selling it, but how? Now the thing is, commercial pineapples cleverly don't have any seeds. It's a way to avoid people from growing them on their own. But you can still grow a pineapple plant just using the top. Farms that had access to the tops also started hiring away farmers to learn the growing techniques, and soon, the golden pineapple was everywhere. Now the bigger issue was Dole. Dole, Del Monte's main competitor, was growing golden pineapples in Honduras, the exact same MD2. Del Monte took them to court for violating their trade secret, but the argument didn't hold up because clearly this pineapple was no longer a trade secret. The secret was out, it was growing in fields all over the world. By the early 2000s, Del Monte conceded. No more exclusivity on the golden pineapple. Which was great news for me, who at that point in 2002 had no idea I had been stuffing my mouth with smuggled pineapples. But Del Monte was never gonna make that mistake again. Which kind of brings us back to this guy.
This just got shipped to my front door.
I'm dying to see it.
Oh, I see some pink.
Ah, no way!
Should I try it?
Yes, please. Oh,
Okay.
I'm dying.
That's really good pineapple.
Del Monte started working on the PinkGlow in the early 2000s. It passed FDA clearance in 2016 and began selling in October 2020, middle of the pandemic. And at launch, it was priced at $49 each, which sounds crazy, but when you have such a novel product, ultra limited harvests, a product literally built for social media, well, people are often willing to pay a premium price for it. People are willing to pay more when something feels scarce and hard to get, or when the packaging and the presentation make it feel more special than it actually is. And those are exactly the tactics that Del Monte used here. Limited harvests, exclusivity, and luxury branding. But they're not the only ones, and you've probably run into some of these before. Liquid Death, for example, they took regular water, they just put it in a tall aluminum can with this aggressive branding, and suddenly it feels cooler and worth being more expensive. Same product, different story, different context, higher price. There's a playbook of over 60 tactics that brands use to justify premium prices, and the Hustle team has summed them up into this resource with even more real examples that you'll instantly recognize. So if you're a founder or a marketer looking to maximize your pricing, or just the kind of person who wants to understand why someone would spend absurd money on a pineapple, you should scan this QR code on the screen or use the link in the description to access it for free. But the epitome of this playbook came a couple of years later with the RubyGlow pineapple. So were you able to get, or did you find any of the RubyGlow pineapples?
Yes and no. It's like $400, and then you also get put on a wait list.
To buy one for this video, I would have to go to the US, join a wait list, get a $400 fruit approved by the production team, but looks just like a regular golden pineapple. The deal with it is that it has this reddish crust. It's produced in extremely small batches and can take up to 2 years to grow. It supposedly tastes incredible, but I mean, what do I know? Like literally, I won't know. I don't know when I'll be able to try one.
Here, Kaya, take a bite. Take a bite.
I've been researching this thing for weeks now, and this is the closest I've been. Also, this isn't a genetically engineered fruit like the PinkGlow. Del Monte says that it's a traditionally crossbred hybrid between a conventional pineapple and the Murata pineapple from South America. Now, according to Del Monte, only about 5,000 of these pineapples were grown in 2024, only about 3,000 in 2025, and the first market was not the US, but China. Now, the Asian market is no stranger to premium fruit. There's Japan's Yubari King melon, where a pear sold for 1 million yen. That's about $6,900 at the season's first auction. And there's also Japan's crown melon, literally marked as the Japanese king of fruits, with current premium retail listings starting at about $160. And then there's those cubic watermelons. So while the pink and ruby pineapples aren't as shocking as some of these East Asian counterparts, it's still a sticker shock for people used to picking a regular pineapple for what, $5. So you can find pineapple plantations all over Costa Rica, but after much digging, it seems that all of these fancy pineapples are grown somewhere around this area, this southern part of the country, a region called Buenos Aires. And here's the thing, there are some stories and reports of leaked PinkGlow pineapples. I've accepted that I'm not gonna get my hands on a RubyGlow. It's expensive. There are only a few thousand up for sale every year, so my odds aren't good at all. But PinkGlow, I mean, people have managed to grow them. Some have even made it to farmers markets. Maybe the odds aren't too bad. If I have any odds of finding one, I have to go to the source. Now, one big difference with the MD2 golden pineapple fiasco is that this time, these guys are not fooling around with those patents. They have patents on everything. They patent the plant, the fruit, they've protected that branding. Can't miss those R's next to the PinkGlow and the RubyGlow. But more importantly, this time they actually got the Costa Rican government to work for them by way of these really strict biosafety laws. Because it happened before, remember? Clever Costa Ricans stole those pineapple tops, started growing golden pineapples until they reached Dole. But Costa Rica is a small country, getting the government to go and pursue and close down a plantation because they're infringing a patent, a US patent. At that's gonna take a lot of time. Now, some of their documents do mention that they have filed for patents in Costa Rica, but generally a patent only protects you in one jurisdiction and not across the world. So, Del Monte came up with a much better system. Now, in Costa Rica, you need permission to grow any GMO, genetically modified organism. The biosafety, the phytosanitary law requires this special permission in order to do that. Now, in other words, PinkGlow, being a genetically modified fruit, is technically a potential biosafety issue for the country. Now, Del Monte probably knew that suing a farmer for growing PinkGlow on the basis of patent infringement, it was gonna be a slow process. So instead, they're getting the Costa Rica Department of Agriculture to keep things in check, not for patent infringement, but for breaking the biosafety phytosanitary rules. And it has worked. According to the local ministry or Department of Agriculture, at least 3 farms in the northern part of the country have been destroyed just for trying to grow PinkGlows. What Del Monte did is actually very clever. They registered the pineapple to grow it. They got permission to grow it, permission to export it, but they never went through the trouble of registering it for local consumption. That means that anyone in Costa Rica holding a pink pineapple is breaking the law. No, don't worry, this isn't one. And we're still gonna eat that. We're not gonna waste any pineapples today. But the point is that the part that really bugs me about all this is that Del Monte, whenever there's something in the press about pink pineapples being grown somewhere, they ask Costa Ricans not to buy them if they see them in the market. And that doesn't sit well with me because they designed this product that outprices the very people that farm it, and that they just refuse to sell to us.
¿Usted sabrá si algún lugar de casualidad se podrá conseguir piñas rosadas por aquí?
Ah, no. No sé. No la venden.
No, eso lo tienen ellos bajo estricta seguridad y la piña rosada.
Esta lo guardas ahí.
Esa no la vemos aquí. Dios guarde.
Entonces ustedes no han visto ninguna, ni... Yo creí que aquí se veía.
Aquí nosotros no. Yo de aquí a Buenos Aires ni en foto,
Usted no ha visto ninguna, nunca.
Sí, pero ilegal.
We've been asking neighbors around and confirmed that those pineapples in that property, those are PinkGlow pineapples. We can see them from here. We're, 10 feet away from the plants. To just be next to them and not being able to taste it at all. Now, I'm still not sure if we're gonna be able to eat a pink pineapple, but at least we're gonna get to spy on their crops. Now, we were kind of giving up on seeing anything about PinkGlow pineapples here in Costa Rica, but that's kind of like spitting in people's faces, man. Like, why would you put it in a billboard if you don't even sell it in the country? Now, the bigger question here is, well, is it ethical to own a fruit? I am curious what you guys think, but here's my take. On one hand, this was a lot of work, millions of dollars, decades of scientific research. I actually found a pretty thorough summary by the FDA on the science behind turning yellow flesh into pink flesh in these pineapples. I'll just drop the link below if you're curious. But I have to give it to Del Monte or anybody who develops something novel like this. I mean, they should be entitled to some premium or some exclusivity on the sales of their product, even though it's natural and it grows out of the ground. On the other hand, some genetically modified plants have created real-world problems. From Starlink corn, which was approved only for animal feed and still ended up in taco shells and other human food products, all the way to crops infused with bacterial DNA to repel insects, where some pests eventually evolved resistance and started beating the very trait they were designed to stop. Costa Rica bears that risk, and again, this is my personal take, Costa Ricans, I think we're getting gaslit, man. Like, this premium, maybe delicious pineapple grown in our country could be a matter of pride, but instead, it looks like Costa Ricans will not know what it tastes like for years to come, if ever. Another crop that is getting gaslit is hemp, which could have replaced cotton years ago, but there's this obscure and controversial law in the 30s that demonized hemp for 100 years. You should check my video about it. And don't forget to download Hustle's Guide to Premium Pricing. Catch you in the next one.